when you genuinely care about people, sometimes they tend to take advantage of you. Sometimes they tend to always know where to turn. They always know who to turn to. They always know what buttons to push. They always know what triggers you to help them if they need help. What triggers you to stand in for them when they need somebody to stand in for them. What triggers, what buttons to pull to get you on their side. It's not because you helping them is a problem, but because you're easily manipulatable, you're easily malleable. Somebody easily knows what to do to get you to do what it is they want. And sometimes when you have a big heart, you stand in for people who will never learn how to stand in for themselves. You defend people who will never learn how to defend themselves. You protect people who will never learn how to protect themselves. And that means you are helping out as any other person would. But then they become perpetual victims. They will never learn how to stand on their 2 feet. They'll never learn how to defend themselves. They'll always know that you will always be there for them. And sometimes, before someone can honestly learn how to defend themselves, they ought to always be the first time. And you will defend them the first time and the second time. And it will be difficult for them to not want to ask the third time, because you have always been doing it for them, that they can't prevent themselves from asking it the following time. They'll always know you'll be there for them, even when you're not, so that it becomes a right for them. They almost feel entitled because you've been doing it, then you ought to continue doing it. Some people never know how to draw the boundary. They'll never know when they've crossed a line that they shouldn't. They'll never know how far is too far. Because you've always done it, then you ought to do it. Because you are this good individual, because you're this kind individual, because you're this, then why you not do it another time? And there will always be the story of, this is the last time. Next time I'll do it this way. Or next time I'll be courageous enough to defend myself. Next time I'll be strong enough to speak my mind. Next time I'll be strong enough to protect my child. Next time I'll be financially capable to move out to do this and that. There will always be a next time when they ought to do that which they should have done the first time. But you being who you are, you did it for them, and they will always count on you to do it again. So at times when you spread your wings too wide, you want to protect many people, you want to stand in for so many, you want to defend those who cannot defend themselves. At times we defend more than we should, we protect more than we should, we stand in more than we should, we stretch our arms too wide, that it becomes difficult for the people to understand that we've overstretched, we've gone beyond our limits, that we've done all that we could do. And even when you're worn out, they see you doing it and they are not willing to understand you having done the best that you could. But they know that you will always be able to do it for them. That when you do not, it feels like you do not want to do it for them. It feels like you've had enough, you don't care anymore. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that the entitlement chain runs too deep. There are people in your life who are anchors. There are people in your life who will always drag you down. You will always help, and there'll never be an end to how far too far is. There'll never be an end to how much too much is. You will always have to go an extra mile. You'll always have to continue helping. You'll always have to do it one last time. Their issues are understandable. Their struggles are understandable. Their burdens are understandable, but yours are not. Because you ought to be the one to do it for them. They will never be able to do it on their own. They cannot, because you are still there. The day you speak your mind, the day you're free, the day you have to do what you need to do, the day you need to stand up for yourself, the day you say no, then you become the villain. Because you've always done it, then you ought to continue doing it. The day you have to say no, then it's your fault that they fail when they actually try the first time. The day you stand up and say no, then it's your problem that they are going through what they're going through. It's your problem that they cannot defend themselves. It's your problem that they cannot stand up for their, or whatever it is they believe. So sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to believe what you believe. Sometimes you have to take a step back and allow those that we care about make enough mistakes until they can stand on their own feet. allow those that we care about make enough mistakes until they can believe in themselves. We need to believe in people, but then we need to allow them believe in themselves enough first. Because when we keep pushing them and believing in them more than they believe in themselves, then they will never have the capacity from within to understand that it is they are doing it and not us. That without us, they can still do it. Although we are there, but just as a support system on top of what they already have. It's not always on them alone. They can count on us to help them, not count on us to be the help. They help us to come from them. They need to be the willingness. There has to be the goodwill. There has to be the interest from them. All it takes is for you to say no one time. So always understand, you can say no and it won't hurt. You may not want to say it because you want to be the good person. You want to be the one they always get to come to, because there's a feeling that comes with being able to help somebody who is in need. There's a good feeling with always being there for the people that you care about. There's a good feeling with always standing in for someone who you know that you can always count on when their time comes. But also there has to be a limit to how far too far is. There has to be a limit to how much too much is. There has to be a boundary that you should not be able to cross. You allow somebody make a choice, so that you making it a choice for them does not get them to blame you. You making a choice for them makes them blame you should there be a problem, and if it succeeds, it's their success. A failure is yours, but a success is theirs. So understand when there's a line to be drawn, but you have to draw that line. Be the bad guy that allows them to spread their own wings and fly, not the good guy that always spreads your wings, overstretches, and continues helping them until you can't do it anymore. And by the time you stop doing it, then they're too grown and their wings have never stretched. Their wings have never flapped. They don't know what it means like to spread your wings. And they blame you for not having allowed them to do so. So sometimes they need to hurt as they learn, so that they don't get to bleed in the field. Blessings.